Devlog number 2. It's time to give the enemies art. On screen are all my attempts. But I decided on the ScrapBot. Each enemy will have layers just like in Bloons Tower Defense. The idea is that each bot is running on these microchips. Later on, in development, I plan on giving these chips a purpose, maybe they will be used as currency or something. Now that we have visuals for enemy art, let's add in layers. First I clean up the enemy's code a bit, by getting rid of true and false statements and instead using a state machines. Now let's add in the layer art, and then I'll code the layers, and explain how I went about doing it. So adding in layers is pretty simple. I give the enemy layer variable and a hit variable. The layer variable stores what layer they are currently on. And the hit variable stores the number of hits the current layer can take. And down below we have a layer checker function. This function checks if the layer has been broken. And if the enemy is on the last layer and it breaks, this function will free the node. We can also change the speed with each layer under our if statements. Also, the hitbox subtracts from the layer variable. Here it is in action. Don't mind the janky bullets. The last thing I did with the ScrapBot was adding an animation. It wasn't easy, but good practice nevertheless. After I finished the animation, I didn't do anything for a long time. Okay, time to start the crafting system. But before we do that, let's implement a scrolling camera. And by that, I mean copying and pasting one off the internet, because why waste your time doing things that are already done? Credit to GD Quest. Looking good. I then added in the crafting table that I made in Aseprite. Here is what our old crafting system looked like. First up is making an area that will show the crafting system UI when the player walks into it. Results. Now I have to add in the towers you can craft. This took a while because getting the buttons to scale right in the grid was a pain. Next, we need the grid to load in towers that we unlocked the recipes for and can build. And, by using a dictionary that stores what is needed to craft each tower, I can now show the needed ingredients on screen when the craft is clicked. I wasn't planning on doing this, but to be able to fully flesh out the crafting system, I'm going to need to make an inventory for the towers. I decided on going for a Breath of the Wild inspired quickbar for the tower inventory. This will make it quick and easy to access and place your towers. I also added wrapping and color changing for focus. Before being finished with the crafting system, there were a few more things that needed to be done. Adding in a button the player clicks to craft the tower they selected. Adding that crafted tower to your inventory. Creating a resource inventory for the player, using a dictionary. And removing the number of resources you used from your resources inventory. After adding that all in, here are the results. If you didn't notice already, the player moves back and forth when you cycle through the inventory. Let's fix that by creating a state machine for the player, so they will only move when they are in the movement state. Looking good now that that's fixed. I then coded in the selection mechanics. Next we need numbers to show the amount you have. So, here are the last things I did. I added in a different tile map that I got from itch.io, because my dirt tile was making me dizzy. Hopefully in the future when I am better at art, I'll tackle tiles again. I also made an icon for the tower inventory, so the player will be able to tell what inventory they are in. And lastly, the inventory now correctly shows how many towers you have, and subtracts when you use a tower. Oh yeah, I also added a shadow to the player, not animations though, because I tried and failed miserably. Thanks for watching.